So in today's class, we are going to discuss about Terraform project. Terraform, Jenkins, GitHub integration. Already I set up everything here. So I'll explain the blueprint for you. Why? Because Terraform is already installed and Jenkins also I installed here. So Terraform project is going to be very, very easy. Don't expect it is going to be very difficult. All of the things you know, but we are trying to integrate with each other. Save and finish, start using Jenkins. Fine. So now in today's class, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss how to create the 3-tier architecture with the help of Terraform. First of all, you know 3-tier architecture, right? I'll tell the real time, like how the 3-tier architecture is going to be. So in real time, 3-tier architecture means you are going to have 2 web servers. What you are going to have, sir? One sir, like let me take this one. I already have this one. So we are going to have 2 web servers. Let me draw this diagram. So this is 2 web servers. These are going to be. And after that web servers, you are going to have 2 app servers. And then later on, you will get to database server. So this is how the 3-tier architecture is going to be. And coming to this one, sir, web servers, we are having one internet load balancer or not, sir? One load balancer we are going to attach. And all of these are going to be on single dedicated VPC. Of course, here we can use default VPC, or if you want, you can use the custom VPC as well. And auto scaling group is optional, guys. Remember, if you ask me, in our company, we don't use auto scaling group. Auto scaling group is not required for all the servers. It depends upon the type of application. Okay, so I'm not including the auto scaling group here. And what are the other resource bucket we need to create or not, sir? IAM user also we need to create or not, sir? So all this comes under the part of infrastructure, sir. So then how we are going to automate the infrastructure means it is very clear. First of all, as a DevOps engineer, you will write the Terraform code. What we are going to do, after writing the code, we are going to put it on GitHub. Where we are going to put the code on? From the GitHub, I'll take the code to the Jenkins server. You know, already this process is continuous integration. In this continuous integration, I already have Terraform installed. What I installed already? And later I installed Jenkins as well. From the Jenkins, I can do continuous integration. With the help of Terraform, I can run the Terraform commands itself. Now here, I am gonna create the pipeline here. What we are going to create here? The moment if I create the pipeline, if I click on build now, automatically entire 3-tier architecture is going to deploy on single time. The concept is very clear. Already we have the code. Code, you can take it from a GitHub account. Are you seeing DevOps Terraform account here? So here you can take the code, sir. First of all, I'll explain in the code for you how the code is written here. Everything you know, there is nothing different here newly. Provider, on which region we are going to, on which cloud we are going to create our resource? Region, which region? Please out this one. First of all, I'm going to create one web server, sir. What I'm going to create? So here, AWS instance I have given, AMI I have given, T2 micro, and key pair name, key underscore name means key pair name is Swiggy new key pair. And VPC security, already we have seen how to attach a security group for our EC2 means we have seen. Whenever I execute AWS security group with label name 5, I'll get one ID. Attach it to here. Okay. Code I have written on the below. Next, sir, in user data, I am running a script. In AWS, we can run the script before creating the server. What is the script here? I am installing HTTPD and I am starting HTTPD and I am enabling the HTTPD. CHK config means if you give this command, your service is never going to stop status. Your service is not going to be on. Already I said this on Jenkins. Whenever if you don't want to stop any service, never give the CHK command on. So in the user data, I'm running the script. Script is to install Apache, start the Apache and make running Apache. Next here, I'm putting the content. Hi all, this is my application created by Terraform infrastructure. Where it is. by Ram sir in server number 1. And the content I'm going to put on var www.index.html or not, sir? Next, at the last EOF, end of the file here, inside the tags, I'm giving the name as web server 1. For web server 2 also same configuration. Resource AWS instance with label name 2. AM I have given, instance type T2 micro, key pair, Swiggy key name, VPC, security group. Already I write the code at the bottom of the file that is going to attach here. Availability zone, I want to create an AP South East 1B. First one is an AP South East 1A. So here I write the same script, installing Apache, starting the Apache, configuration on, writing the content to var www.index.html and name of the server. Now is two web servers concept clear or not, sir? Only thing you are seeing newly is how to insert the data. I am inserting the data with the help of user data. So here I am creating two application server. It is my application server number 1. Application server number 1 is on AP Southeast 1A. Application server number 2, AP Southeast 1B. Sir, is writing easy to clear for all of you? Why? Because from the starting of the Terraform, we have seen the same code. Nothing new here. Same code, whatever I taught on day 1, here also same code, sir. Resource, here I am creating security group with label name 5 here. Name of the security group is Elastic Load ELB security group. Ingress means inbound. What is the inbound rule here? 22. Second ingress rule, port number. Of course, if you want to use dynamic block also you can use. That depends upon your choice. I am not using dynamic block. I am just using ingress block separately. Port number 22 to connect my server. Port number 82. See the Apache running on my web. Egress means outbound. Outbound I have given it as all traffic. So now here I'm gonna create one bucket. Bucket is DevOps Terraform server bucket 0099. Coming to the IAM user, I'm gonna create the IAM user. Here I'm using for each block. Which loop I'm using? For each loop is going to take the values one by one. What is the first value? User 1. Second value, user 2. Third value, user 3. Fourth value. In variables, we have concept list of string. List of string can also be called as set of string actually. Okay. I am taking the values from the variable block. Already we have seen how to write the variable block, and already we have seen how to use the for each loop also. Now I am creating the EBS volume. EBS volume code also we have written or not, sir? In our classes, have I shown you how to write EBS volume code? Yes or not? If you want me to explain, I'll explain. Don't worry. What happened here? Now here the main thing is not understanding the code actually. Code you can get from internet anywhere. The main concept is how the pipeline is going to work for the infrastructure. So I'm creating EBS volume here on AP South 1A. What is size of volume? What is the name of EBS volume? That's it. Now here we write the server's information and everything. Next here I'm gonna tell you load balancer. You don't know load balancer code, right? I'll explain it very clearly now. Sir, I am creating AWS Elastic Load Balancer with the variable name as bar, like it is a label name. Name of the Elastic Load Balancer is Raham Terraform ELB, and availability zone AP South 1A and AP South 1B. Why? Because my web servers are on AP Southeast 1A and AP Southeast. Automatically my load balancer also need to have these two availability zones or not, sir? I given it here. Listener rule. My application is running on which port number? So load balancer port also I have given as which type of protocol here? Why HTTP? Because there is no SSL certificate there. Health check. Healthy threshold means continuously 3 requests are run successfully. Load balancer is healthy. Continuously 5 requests are not getting the response. Unhealthy it is. Timeout. If I send a request, response is not getting within 5 seconds. Timeout. Target. HTTP is my protocol and port number is interval means difference between first check and second check, sir. Already we seen this on load balancer concept actually. But again, I'm giving recall here. Instances. I am gonna attach my AWS instance with label name 1 ID. That means whenever I run the AWS instance with label name 1, it will get one ID. Na? Bring that server to here. Sir, I am taking internet load balance. That means web server I need to attach or not, sir? It is the block label of web server or not, sir? Web server 1 and web server 2. Cross zone load balancing means first load balancer is on US East 1A. I mean like a AP Southeast 1A. Second load balancer is on AP South. Both are on same region, different region. Same region or different region? Same region, but different availability zone. Don't confuse. Same region only, but different availability zone. First one is on AP South 1A. Second one is on AP South. I mean like AP Southeast actually. Cross zone load balancing means both servers are on different availability zone. For that purpose, it is telling that cross zone load balance. True. Ideal timeout I have given it as 4 seconds, and finally it is the name of the elastic load balancer. Then finally it is the code for RDS, sir. RDS code I won't execute lively. Why? Because if I want to create RDS, it will take 20 to 25 minutes. So it will take more than our expected time. For that purpose, I make it as comment. Comment means it is not going to perform. But I'll explain RDS code for all of you. RDS cluster I am creating, cluster identifier. Amazon Aurora here I am taking it as MySQL. Cluster engine. Engine version is 5.7 here. Availability zone. I want my production server on AP Southeast 1A, AP Southeast. Database name, my database. Database username, Raham. Password is so and so password here. Backup protection period, I have 5 days. That means if I delete the backup, if I delete the database, I have the backup protection period within 5 days. Backup window, 7 to 9 a.m. daily. So this is the code for database. But again, I commented this one. But in your practice, you can uncomment and you can practice there. So this is the code, sir. Sir, now code is on GitHub. Can I integrate with the Jenkins pipeline? Already we've seen continuous integration, right? Already we have seen continuous. Remember, I have only one single server. In this server, I have Terraform running. And in this server only, I have Jenkins running. So both Terraform and both Jenkins are installed on same server. Of course, if you want to do it on different server also, you can do it. Okay, then fine here. Let's create the pipeline. So here I'm writing it as Terraform pipeline. So tell me the syntax then. First of all, we need to write. No, pipeline. Pipeline, agent, any. Next, stages. Inside stages, we need to write stage or stages. Stages. Next, stage. Name of the stages, I'm giving checkout. Whenever you get the code, you need to write it as checkout. Then inside stage, you need to write. So directly integrate this one. Just copy the URL here. I know how to copy this directly. Currently, my source code is on master branch and there is no credentials. Directly, you can put your code like this. Git and this URL. I'm going to explain the pipeline code step by step actually. Entire pipeline code I won't execute one at a time. If I give this now, automatically whatever the code is on this GitHub is going to come to my server here. What is the path? CD var lib Jenkins workspace Terraform pipeline. Hit enter. Are you seeing all of the files here or not, sir? No? Seeing it or not? Now you have main.tf. Now you have elastic load balancer.tf. You have everything here. What is the first command in Terraform? Terraform. Sir, but here if we write this command here manually, it is not going to be automated, right? So for that purpose, command we need to write on pipeline only. Already in Docker, we have performed this kind of activities. We bring the code to server, but commands where we are going to execute on pipeline or on our server? Server. Pipeline only. So like fine. If we execute the command on server, second time if you want to execute, again you need to write or not, sir? Third time also if you want to execute, again you need to write or not, sir? But if you put the command on pipeline, automatically it will trigger every time or not? No need to write multiple times, right? So I'm writing here stage as init stage. Which stage it is? Init. Inside stage again. Steps. sh command is Terraform. Now directly it is going to initialize the provider plugins. Correct or not, sir? Hit enter. Is it initializing provider plugins here? Terraform init is done. What is the second command now? Terraform plan. But before Terraform plan, I would like to run Terraform validate command. Terraform validate command is to validate the syntax. Already we discussed. Again, tell me the process. Stage, validate, sh Terraform. This command is going to validate my Terraform syntax. But you need to understand a thing here after validate. Next thing is we are going to Terraform plan. So now tell me the command again. Tell me the process. Stage. I won't teach you pipeline. You are going to teach me. Okay. Plan. Next. Steps. sh Terraform plan. Again save this one. Click on build now. Automatically it is going to do what now? The pipeline is going to planner. Sure. Failed. Definitely it is going to fail, I know. So now let's do the troubleshooting. Troubleshooting, I won't tell you. You need to read the error and you need to tell me what is the troubleshooting technique. Go for logs here. Very easy troubleshooting. What is telling? What is error here? No valid credential source found. That means, sir, if you want to work with Terraform, we need to provide access key and secret key or not, sir. But in that configuration file, I haven't given access key and secret key. Without giving access key and secret key, how it is going to work, sir? No, right? Basically, what you can do is, I'll tell you this one. Directly in main.tf, you can put your access key and secret key. If you do like that, your account is going to be blocked. I can teach like that directly. But if you do like that, you have the chances of blocking your own AWS account. Why? Because, sir, if you expose your access key and secret key, for example, I put my access key and secret key here for your project purpose. If someone sees this access key and secret key, someone can use it. I'm going to get the billing or not, sir? AWS will prohibit the exposing of your access key and secret key. We cannot do it. So then how we can do it means we can add it on our Jenkins credentials. In Docker, we have add our credentials or not, sir? In Tomcat, we add our credentials or not, sir? Like that AWS access key and secret key also we need to add to our Jenkins pipeline. How to add your access key and secret key in AWS? You know, AWS configure command we can write. But if you want to add it on Jenkins, we need to go for credential manager. Already we done this on your Jenkins concept for Tomcat deployment, right? Same as this concept. If you go to your Jenkins here, and one more thing is don't worry about this. Already in this document, I have written how to add your credentials as well. If you go and see, are you seeing creds adding? This is also I have given document for you. First of all, go to Jenkins, manage credentials, global credentials. You need to go. Manage Jenkins. Credentials. Are you seeing here global? Click on global. Click on add credentials. Sir, here I am passing here secret text. Access key and secret key, secret text or not, sir? So already I have my access key and secret key here. It is my access key and secret key. First of all, here I am providing the access key. Copy this one. And here I am typing it as access key. What I am typing it as? In description also you can provide like access key. Description also you can provide this one. Is it done now? Next you want to add your secret key. Add credentials again. Here you want to give secret text. Here I given this one. We need to select here secret text. Now here you need to give secret key. Guys, whenever you are copying this one, be careful, okay? ID it is secret key. And description also I am giving the secret key. Now, how to add this both into your pipeline means this code also you have, sir. If you go here, are seeing pipeline code here. Here I have clearly shown you. You need to give environment here. What we need to give? Environment. Access key ID, secret key ID you need to give. What is the, where you are getting access key ID means from my credentials. What is the ID I have given? Access key only. What is the ID I have given? Secret key only. Directly you can copy paste this one instead of writing. So if I go to my this one pipeline, in this pipeline, I'm going to add my environment variables here. So I'm adding my environment variables. I want to get the access key. Where I'm getting the access key ID from my credentials. What is the credential here? Access underscore. I given like that. But if you give direct access key, it is fine. And again, you are getting AWS access, secret access key from credentials only. What is the ID I have given? Underscore key. Directly, you can remove underscore as well, but I have given underscore there. Then, if I go and click on save, the moment if I click on build now, is it going to work or not, sir? Check it then. It's done now. Remember, guys, we cannot expose our credentials. We cannot expose our, instead of exposing our credentials, what I'm using here, I'm taking an environment. In that environment, I'm passing my credentials with the help of Jenkins credentials. In Jenkins credentials, you can store anything. In Tomcat, we have seen username and password or not, sir. Have you saved there or not, sir? Access key and secret key also you can save. Any secret keys, that means anything is very, very like what we call passwords, username, access key, secret key, like this kind of things, what you are having, right? You can save it on your Jenkins environment. Now Terraform init done, Terraform validate done, Terraform plan done. What is the next command here? Terraform apply. Tell me the command then. Then Terraform hyphen auto. Correct or not, sir? Here, okay, fine. Like here, whatever name you can give. But okay, fine. So here I have given apply. Sir, for destroy also same command or not, sir? Destroy also. That means what I'll do is I'll take one block here called action. What I take here? Here also I take the variable as action. Now, whenever I take variable inside my pipeline, I need to define the variables on parameters or not, sir? Go to the parameter. What is the name of the variable there? Go for choice parameter. Here type it as apply and destroy. If you want to create resource, select apply here. Now Terraform apply auto approve. If you want to destroy your resource, select here destroy. Terraform destroy auto approve. It's a good method or not, sir? Like instead of writing one block for apply, one block for destroy, here I'm taking variable. So now click on save. Now my main intention is to create the Terraform infrastructure. I'm sorry, infra with Terraform. Now go with build with parameters. Click on apply. Click on build now. Automatically I put the code on GitHub. It is taking the code from GitHub. After taking the code from GitHub, it is downloading the provider plugins. Then later it is validating whether the syntax is correct or not. Later it is going to create the execution plan. Once the execution plan is done, are we going to create the infra or not, sir? Don't do anything. Just wait for a few seconds. Your 3-tier infrastructure is going to ready within few seconds. Few minutes, sorry, not seconds. In seconds, we cannot create infrastructure. It got failed. Obviously, it will fail. Why? Because there will be some mistakes here. Like whenever we do this kind of configuration, right? We need to check where the mistake is. Go here and check where your mistake is. AMI ID not found. Like whatever the AMI ID we are using this one, AMI ID is the mistake we are having. So that means what I'm going to do here. Can we change AMI ID here? Let me change AMI. So in main.df, go here and try to edit this one. Currently, you are creating infrastructure on AP Southeast one. Where you are creating infra on? That means on this region. It is my AP Southeast. Singapore. In Singapore, go and take one AMI ID. Go for AMI catalog. Like these are very small issues. We can usually troubleshoot these kind of things. Why? Because in class only I have to issue how to troubleshoot the stuff. Copy this AMI ID. Replace this AMI ID with old AMI ID. Old AMI ID I might use for some other region. Okay. So it is asking me to that AMI is not exist on this region. Please try to change your region or please try to change your AMI ID. What happened to this internet? It's working slowly. I'll update here. So this AMI I'm going to replace with new AMI ID. FF2. Fine. I need to replace 4 times here. Why? Because I have the servers, four servers, right? So replace here 4 times. And one more thing, there is some space. Try to remove this space. Commit this file now. Sir, whenever I commit the file, is new code is going to come or not, sir, now? That is what continuous integration taught us, right? And recently, I have forwarded 2 referrals on LinkedIn. Have you seen that one? For experienced people, like who want to go with 1.5 years or 2 years experience, just go and check my LinkedIn profile. So there I have posted 2 openings. Not for freshers, that for experience. For fresher, definitely I'll suggest you to reach to Naresh IT. Why? Because they will send a lot of openings for you. Now, if you go and see there, sir, is your infrastructure ready now? How much time it is taken? Average time, that is. Like, let me get the full time. If I go for logs now, it will show me the complete times actually. Click on here. So it completed how many seconds? 54 seconds. Within less than 1 minute. Within less than 1 minute, you know how many resources you created? 12 resources. If you want me to show, just go here and type Terraform state file, Terraform state list. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How speed the Terraform is going to work for your infrastructure, sir? Within how many seconds it's gone? 54 seconds. That means less than 1 minute or not. Now, if you go and see here, first of all, click on instance. You will see 2 web server, 2 app servers. Seeing it here. Then go for your security groups. In security group also you can see it. Terraform security group. Are you seeing it or not, sir? Managing by Terraform. Next, go for EBS volume. You will see the new volume of 40 GB. Seeing the new volume here, EBS 001, 40 GB. Go for load balancer. Are you seeing the load balancer here? Then upon go for S3 bucket. You will be seeing the S3 bucket or not, sir? October 28, just now created. Then lastly, verify IAM. Of course, if you want to get IAM group also, you can create the IAM group. But here I have shown you how to create IAM user. Go for here user. Seeing the user or not, sir? User 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. So now tell me, is creating infrastructure with the help of Terraform and integrating with pipeline easy or difficult, sir? I'm not talking about Terraform code here. Forget about Terraform code. I'll never talk about code. Why? Because code you can get from internet also. I am asking about the process, taking the code from GitHub, integrating Terraform code with pipeline, triggering the pipeline. Clear or not, sir? This is what your real-time work is going to be. Guys, trust me, in real time also what you will do is, you will do nothing. You will write the file, you sit here, you click on build now. Completely your DevOps in their work life is going to be clicking on build now only. You can integrate Jenkins here, you can integrate Kubernetes here, you can integrate Terraform here, you can integrate Docker here, you can integrate Git. Your centralized working platform will be Jenkins only. For DevOps here I'm talking about. Why? Because we have seen how to do integration of Tomcat here. We've done a deployment. For Dockerization also we have done deployment. For Terraform also we have done deployment or not, sir? Generally in real time, if someone asks you what are the kind of deployments, there will be 3 types of deployments. I'm not talking about deployment types here. First deployment is monolithic deployment. Second one is microservice deployment. Third one is infrastructure deployment. Have I shown you monolithic deployment? Tomcat. Have I shown you microservice deployment Docker project? Have I shown you infra deployment now? All of this deployment, how I have done, sir? With integrating of Jenkins. Now tell me one thing. At the starting of the course, I said you one thing. At the end of the course, whatever the pipeline you want, you can write the pipelines very easily. Is writing pipeline really be a difficult task for you? The only thing is you need to understand the process. If you know the process, right, you can write the pipeline. That is the only thing you need to keep focus. Writing the pipelines are very, very easy. But when it is very, very easy, when you understand the process. Now you know how to create the infrastructure. You need to plan, apply. When you know the process directly, you can able to write the code or not, sir. So this is the project of Terraform. Sir, now again, in real time, basically we don't delete the infrastructure. But if you want more delete now, build with parameters, automatically this will go. This will fly away now. You don't see the infrastructure now. Within 1 minute, the infra is going to be deleted. So now tell me, is Terraform product easy or difficult now? Easy or not? But the only thing is, forget about code, man. Even I cannot write the code. Sometimes I need to take the reference only. Guys, trust me, nobody will write the codes with their own side on real time. Even if you want every code is an official documentation. We will do copy paste only. Even including me also. Of course, I know how to write the code. Tell me one thing. To write this infrastructure code, I'll take 30 minutes of time. How many minutes of time? But for copy paste, I'll take only 5 minutes. Do I need to prove to my manager that I can write code without seeing? My manager want is finish the work. He want me to finish the work. He doesn't care. I write the code without seeing or like with seeing, or if I take from ChatGPT also, like fine. He want is complete the work. They will never care how you have done the work. They will care work is done or not. That's it, sir. So not only this code, Docker file code, you don't know. Just take the reference from official documentation. Kubernetes code, you don't know. Take the reference. Terraform code, you don't know. Take the reference. Even certifications exams also allowing you to take the copy paste the code. For Docker, Kubernetes and Terraform, you let certification, right? There is like some certification exams. Even on certification exams also, copy paste the code is allowed, So that is. The only thing is you need to understand the sequence, how the work is going to be triggered and what is the connection between them. You need to get this one only, sir. So finally, this is the project of Terraform. So that's it about Terraform, sir. And one more concept, the pending about Terraform is Terraform modules. Modules is nothing but dividing the Terraform code into multiple files and folders. I will give that code, only that code practice yourself, only that part. But modules is nothing but whenever you want to store your Terraform configuration on multiple files, there you can use modules. In Ansible, we use roles concept, right? Why use roles concept? To divide the playbooks into multiple directories. Here also same command. Models are nothing but it is going to divide your main.tf into multiple subparts. Simply nothing but dividing the Terraform configuration file into multiple folders. I'll give the code for you. Just practice that one. So that's it, sir, about Terraform. Now is Terraform project clear for all of you? All in, what about you? Is the Terraform project clear for all of you? Can you please confirm me on chat once? Okay, so everyone is fine with it. Great. Clear. You're fine. Okay, sir. Now, yeah. Oh, sure. So now the main thing comes into the action. In last class, we discussed few topics, right? Software. No. Software deployment things. Discussed or not? So now tell me, this time I'll ask you freshly. What is the meaning of deployment? Installing the application into web server. Server. That can be any server. Tell me the difference between website and web application. Website means front-end code only. Then web application means front-end code plus for website database required optional. But for web application, database is required. Like which functionality is complex, website or web application? Web application. Fine. If I want to do the deployment, what I want, sir, basically? If I want to do the deployment, first of all, like what is the purpose of doing deployment? Already we discussed. To add the new features, to enhance the application, to improve the performance of application, to remove the bugs. Correct or not, sir? And if I want to do the deployment, first of all, I need to have infra setup. Next, I need to have new code. Then I need to have developing, testing, and DevOps team. So database are required definitely, and release manager approval. RM means release manager basically. Whenever you want to do a new release, you need to have the approval. And one more thing, guys, I'll ask you this one. Open question for all of you. What is the difference between release and deployment? Very high-end question. Definitely this question is going to ask for the experienced people, not for you guys. No. What is the difference between release and deployment? I'll give an option. Google it and tell me. Use Google. And tell me what you can understand. Okay. Okay, that's a correct point. Let's give chance to the new folks. That's correct. Versions are not. You can use Google or you can use ChatGPT, whatever you want. But tell me the exact difference between deployment and release. Because all of here, like you will go with some experience, right? So definitely whenever you go with experience, you need to know about this one. Okay, take your time. Answer to? Aya. Oh, okay. Uh, then deployment means configure. No, 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 no. No. Transfer of how you can transfer? It's show in Google. Okay. Transferring means with the help of Bluetooth, with the help of share it, like that. From WhatsApp, even. Like whenever I used to take interviews, right, I'll ask these questions. Why? Because experience, like somebody is coming with fake experience, right? They can't answer these questions. Why? Because if you want to answer this question, definitely you need to work on real time. Otherwise, you don't know about this one. So, like, if I want to test whether the person is real experience or fake experience, these questions are enough actually. I won't ask anything from technical point of view. Why? Because technically everyone can tell. If you prepare DevOps for 6 months, you can answer any question. But these questions you can't answer. Take 2 more minutes. Deploy means application is ready on infra. Release means available for end user. Somewhat. Okay. I'm asking about difference between deployment and release. Uh, okay. Not chat GPT. Tell. Okay. Still. Yep. Mm. Then already like someone said, but I'm not going to release it. But why? Because I want you to answer and I want you to like research about it for a few minutes. Deployment means? Okay. I'll tell you one thing. Guys, remember the difference between release and deployment means, for example, let's take the versions. I'll explain it on like easiest method. Whenever you release a version, right? For example, let's take 1.1.1. Okay. For example, let's take our application is having 1.1.1. This is what we call as major version. What we can call as second one is minor version. Third one is called, you can call as patch. You can see any application, you can get these three: major version, minor version, patch. For example, we are going to do deployment. For example, like when you have some bug, if you remove the bug and if you update the application, that is called as deployment. In deployment, we won't add new features, sir. Whatever the existing features we have, we will update the existing features. That means, like for example, if feature is not working properly, we are getting some bugs. That is what you can call as deployment. Deployment means existing feature only, but we will try to improve the performance. But whereas release means you will get some new features on your application. That is the only difference. Point clear what I say? Apart from that, if you want to remember very, very easily, if you update patch, that is deployment. But if you update version, that is called as release. Simple meaning. Nothing to be complicated. First of all, major version will be there, minor version will be there, patch. If you work on patch, that is called as deployment. But if you work on major version, minor version, that is what you can call as release. This is the first method to answer. Second method is, for a deployment, is nothing but improving the existing features. Releasing means adding the new features for the application. Is the point clear for all of you? This is the question lot of people fail to answer in the interviews. I'm not talking about fresher, I'm talking about experienced people who is already having real-time work. But you guys need to have this knowledge. Okay, sir, fine. Now, ChatGPT will tell something, but that is not going to match for your explanation. ChatGPT failed, fine. Sorry. Fine. Okay, sir, fine, sir. Next year, the very important topic about our complete. Is that it? Come here, Kiran. Now, Kiran is going to tell the difference between deployment and release. Sir, like fine, sir, here I am talking about the deployments now. So deployment here I am talking about blue-green deployment, first of all. These are deployment strategy. Every person who is going to go with experience, you guys need to listen this one very carefully. So try to focus on the next 10 minutes here. Sir, blue-green deployment means, for example, let's consider this diagram here. I'm talking about how your real-time work is going to be. Nobody is going to teach this concept for you, but I'll teach you. So just listen here. Blue-green deployment means, sir, for every web server, we have load balancer. In the load balancer only, we are going to send the request. It is going to send you the response. Here you have blue servers. In blue servers, you usually have the old code. What we will have usually? So we will create the servers and we will deploy the code here. Generally, users are going to use this server. But when developer give the new code, right, I'll create the new servers. In this new server, I'm going to deploy the new code. Then after that, what I'll do is, I'll detach these targets from my load balancer and I'm going to attach this target to my load balancer. You already know this process. I've shown you lively how to attach the targets to your load balancer. Automatically, if I remove these servers and if I attach these servers, green server is having old code or new code, sir? Automatically user will get which application now? New application or old application? Old application. Then when users are working with new application, slowly we are going to decommission the servers. Decommissioning means removing the servers. This is what you can call as blue-green deployment. What we are going to call it as? In real time also, whenever you go, so usually we will create one server. There we deploy one application. When developer give the new source code, we will create new server and we will deploy new application. Then how I am routing the traffic from old server to new server means with the help of load balancer. In load balancer, I will remove the old servers and I'll attach the new server. So this is what you can call as blue-green deployment. Is blue-green deployment clear for all of you? It is the deployment strategy number 1. Basically, one strategy is enough to explain an interview, but I'll teach you all the strategies in the DevOps. Strategy number 2 is rolling strategy. What is the strategy number 2? Rolling strategy means already in Kubernetes we have seen this, but I'll explain one more time for you. For example, here you are having 4 servers with version number 1. When developer give the version 2 code, right? Let's consider it is the 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 servers which is having old code. First of all, I'll create one new server. I'll remove one old server. I'll create second new server. Remove second new server. I'll create third new server. I'll remove the third old server. And again, I'll create the fourth new server. I'll remove the fourth old server. This is what you can call as rolling strategy. Rolling strategy means you are going to create new servers. Parallelly, you are going to remove the old servers. But in blue-green, it is not like that. Blue-green, you create all the new servers at a time. You removed all the new servers, old server at a time. But here, it's not like that. If I create one new server, one old need to be deleted. If I create second new server, second old need to be like that. It is going to replace all the old servers with all the new servers. So this strategy is what you can call as rolling strategy. What we can call it as, sir? In rolling strategy, we need to follow a principle. What is the principle? Condition we can call it as. Old code and new code must be running on old environment and new environment parallelly. Old code and new code must be running on your old environment and new environment parallelly. That is the condition, sir. So we have seen this lively on our Kubernetes. In Kubernetes, whenever I try to update the application in deployment, this is what happened in the Kubernetes. Third one is canary deployment. Guys, don't need to remember all these strategies. Blue-green is enough. Remaining things I am going to teach you for your knowledge purpose only. Just listen, but you need to keep focus on which one? Blue-green deployment. Canary deployment is going to work like this. For example, if I have 100 users, for example, let's consider 70 users, I'll send it to the old servers only. 30% of my users, I'll send to new server. That means new code. If this 30% of users satisfied with new code, then I'll give all the new code to all the users. Are you seeing this one? Blue and green. Blue is having old code here. I'm giving to 70% of users. Green is having new code. I'm giving to 30% of users. So if this 30% of users are satisfied, I'll make all the servers into green. That means I'll give all the new code for the servers. If those are not satisfied, again I'll come back to blue only. If I want to show the live example for it, whenever you and your friends sit together, for some applications, you will get the update first, but your friend will get it later, right? This happened for a lot of times. You and your friend are using WhatsApp, but there is some update on your mobile, but he is not getting the update. Why? Because means it depends on the strategy. If the DevOps engineer use blue-green strategy, all of you will get the update same time, sir. But if DevOps engineer use this kind of strategy, you won't get updates at same time. Some people will get first, some people will get it later. Sorry? Join betapps. What does it mean join betapps? Okay, meta version. Okay. Meta versions, beta versions we have. Okay, fine. So fourth one is recreating strategy, my favorite strategy if you ask. Why? Because in this strategy our work is very low. Even on our company also we implement this concept. First of all, we try to use it on blue green, but later we go on for recreating strategy. Sir, what is the best example of recreating strategy? In blue green, in canary, in rolling, you need to have two servers. Old server, here no need to have two servers. One server is enough. Server is only one. Initially I put version v1. Then later I'll remove the version v1 and I'll put version t2. I am not creating new server here anywhere. If you go and see, I'm creating new server here. Application version only I am changing, sir. Sorry. Stop the server, remove the code, give the new code and start the server. So this is how your recreating strategy is going to work. Which strategy? Among all the strategy, recreating is very best strategy. Why? Because no need to maintain multiple servers. When we need to maintain multiple servers, do we need to work multiple times? Single server is enough. Even in our company also, we implemented the same concept. If not blue green strategy, tell about this strategy. Very easy to explain for the interviewer. And finally, strategy number 5 is A/B deployment. What is the strategy number 5? A/B deployment is nothing but here it is using for testing purpose. Basically, we don't implement this on real time, but for testing activities, we will do it, sir, mostly. A/B deployment means shortcut name is ABD. No ABD? Who is ABD? Mr. 360, yeah? Fine, but still this World Cup is missing him badly. RCB, yeah? Isala Cup namde. How many are RCB fans here? ఉంటది బాగుంటది. And how many are Mumbai? Me also. And Chennai? And nobody is from Chennai, eh? One. And how about Gujarat Titans? Nobody. You don't watch cricket, huh? Then what you will watch? So this load balancer I'm going to work with now. So basically in load balancer, I'll create two ports, sir. Port number A, which is having old code, and I'm connecting with my server number 1. Port number B, I'll use for new code, connecting to the server number. I will give 100 users for each port. And I'll check which port users are more satisfied. Then I'll route all the traffic to that port only. I'll remove the second port. We don't use this one. For only testing purpose, we will use it. But apart from that, we are going to use these strategies. So blue-green deployment, rolling strategies, canary deployment, recreating, and these are what you can call as deployment strategies. This concept is going to be the very important concept for the people who are going with experience. How many are going with experience here? Raise your hands once. Initial ask for this question, right? Just raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so for you people, this is going to be very, very important, guys. Again, I'll explain one more time for you. Blue-green deployment means how many servers we have? 2 servers. First one old, second one is old server is having old code, new server is having Initially, load balancer will point to old server, but later then we are going to point it to, after users are using the new server, we are going to decommission the old servers. Recreating strategies. One old server, one new server. First of all, I'll create one new. I remove one old. Second new server I'll create. Second old server I'm gonna remove it. Like this I'm gonna work. What is the principle here? Old code and new code must be running on both environments, old and new environment. Next, canary deployment. First of all, I'll send 70% of user to old, 30% of user to new. Which user will be more satisfied? I'll keep that one and I'll remove that remaining server. But here the principle is old server, new server. We will have, right? Your new code must be running on old and new server. Okay, there new old code and new code will be working on old environment and new environment. In which strategy? Rolling strategy. But in canary, old code and new code must be running on new server only. Then later recreating. Recreating means single server you will maintain. You will stop the server, you will remove the code, you will add the new code, you will start the server. Automatically user will get the new code. Finally, A/B deployment. This is for testing purpose. We have two ports, port A, port B. Port A is running on old code, port B is running on new code. So this is the strategies. And custom strategy. If you are very highly talented, you can design your own strategy. No, trust me, we can design it. Like lot of companies will implement their own strategies. Depends upon their requirement. And here one more thing you need to understand is downtime, sir. What do you mean by downtime here? How much of time your application is unavailable? That is what you can call as downtime. For example, if your application is not running for 10 seconds, your downtime will be, if your application is not working for 10 minutes, downtime will be 10 minutes. So in real time, we try to create the zero downtime application. That means 24/7, you need to work it. Let's take Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. These will be 24/7 or not, sir? But on some occasions, it might be stopped due to some reasons. So remember, all the web applications we are using now is going to support you for 24/7. That means they are using zero downtime there. So this is about the deployment strategy for user. So this I'm gonna give on your Google Classroom now. And one more thing, have I given your resumes for you? And how many of you build your resumes? 10:45. So material, I'm gonna post this. Folder. So there you go. I have given the document there. So now, guys, here I'm going to explain you how to explain the project. Already I said this one, right? How to explain monolithic and microservice. You remember that one? How to explain monolithic and microservice project. For example, whenever you go for company, they are going to ask you how your project is started and how it is going to move forward. I'll tell you how to explain this project. So please pay attention here. Sir, every project, first of all, I'll explain monolithic project. How monolithic project is going to work in real time. First of all, technical architects are going to give the blueprint. That means they are going to design the architecture. That means 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tier. They are going to select the platform in which programming language we need to write the code and in which cloud we need to use. They are going to describe everything. That is the point number one. First of all, we will get the architecture for our project. That is what you can call as step number one. In step number two, developers and testers are going to do their work. Forget about developers and testers. I'm going to talk about my, as a DevOps engineer, I'm going to talk about. Based upon that architecture, we need to create the infrastructure. What we need to create? By using which tool we are going to create infra? Terraform. After you creating the infrastructure, third thing is we are going to configure the infra. Configuration means we are going to use here. Sir, you created server, sir, but the server need to have software or not, sir? Without software, can you do the deployment? Terraform is going to create the infra, Ansible is going to configure the infra. And one more thing, with the help of Terraform also, you can do the configuration. Okay, but tell them use it Ansible for the configuration. Then after that, finally, you are going to deploy the application. How you are going to deploy the application? With the help of CI/CD process. Said yes or not, sir? So this is the project workflow. So first of all, we will get the architecture. Based upon that architecture, we are going to define the infrastructure with the help of Terraform. Then there, you are going to configure the infra with the help of Ansible. So now for deployment, you are going to do CI/CD. For deployment, which tools we are going to use? Git, Maven we need to use, Jenkins. And where you are going to deploy? I am going to deploy on web application server. That is called as Tomcat. In which server you are going to deploy the application, sir? Tomcat. Once your deployment is done, last step is we need to install the certificates. Install SSL certs. Your companies will give the SSL certificates for you. Once your application is done, deployment is done, you need to access from the browser with the help of load balancer. If it is working, we are going to buy one SSL certificate. That certificate you are going to install on your application, sir. This is the flow of the monolithic project. Whenever you go for interview also, for experienced people I'm talking about, do the same thing. Explain the same pattern. How we are going to explain means, first of all, our architecture is going to give the plan for us. So then with the help of Terraform, we are going to provide the infrastructure. Just tell them how you have created infra. I write the Terraform code. I integrate with Jenkins. I trigger the pipeline. Automatically, the pipeline is going to trigger the infrastructure. And tell them in infrastructure what you created. I create VPC, I create bucket, I create elastic load balancer, I create web server, app server, database cluster, everything I created. Just tell like this. Don't tell on shortcut. Then later tell them, once the infrastructure part is done, then I move to Ansible. In that Ansible, I write the playbooks. After writing the playbooks, I deployed the software center server. For web server, I install Nginx. For app server, I install Tomcat. For database server, I install MySQL and everything. Just tell them like this. After once your software installation is also done, then tell them with the help of Jenkins, I created the CI/CD pipeline. In that pipeline, I take in the source code, then I integrate with Maven and I create the var file there. That var file I directly deploy to the Tomcat server. After deploying the application, then I access with the help of load balancer and verify the application is working properly or not. Upon the verification, then finally I install the certificate to my application and I give the demo to my client. This is the process you want to follow for explanation of the project. The process clear for you? Guys, you are going with fake experience. Remember, this is the open secret, nothing to hide. Whenever you are going with experience, right, you need to be accurate at small things as well. Whenever they ask you something, you must need to able to answer. If you don't know something, try to research on Google, you can get it. This is the way how you need to explain the project of monolithic. And if they ask about Artifactory, tell them you store Artifactory in S3 buckets. Or you can tell JFrog as well, but I'll prefer S3 bucket only. Okay. This is the monolithic architecture, sir. But if they ask you to explain the microservice architecture, for example, if you put the microservice project, there how you are going to explain the project means, first of all, again, same architecture we need to get. Architecture means cluster. Where you are going to create the cluster? How many nodes? 5 node cluster, 7 node cluster, or 3 node cluster? Architecture. Then here I'm going to create the infra again. So this time infra, how I'm going to create, sir? Can I use KOps here? You can use KOps or you can use Terraform also. I taught you KOps. So tell them I use KOps for the infrastructure creation. Then third thing here, we are going to create the images. What we are going to do? Developer will give the code. Tester will test the code. Based upon the code, we are going to create this image. You want to put on the Docker Hub. Docker Hub. Once you put the image on Docker Hub, now I'm gonna deploy the application to Kubernetes cluster. Deploy the app to K8s cluster. Step number 5. Access it and again install SSL certs. Same processor, nothing going to be different. Okay. There and here. So in monolithic, you will work with the help of code. Application code you are going to take and you are going to work with the help of code. But in microservice, code we will take. But we are going to convert code into everything you are going to work from the image only. If they ask you monolithic, explain that process. If they ask you microservice, explain this process. But whatever you are explaining, explain them clearly. What you learned here, what I taught here, explain them clearly. This is more than enough for you. So take a picture of it, all of you, instead of writing the notes. It might help you for your interview time. Clear, sir? So this is the way how you are going to explain the project for the interviewer. Okay, sir, fine. Now you said about the some things related to the experience point of view, and you said about how to explain the project. But coming to the resume building, for a fresher, resume building is not required. I'll give one template, directly is the template. But for experienced people, I need to tell them how to build their resumes. Why? Because that is going to be very, very important for them. So let me explain the resume building for experienced people. Sir, simply follow one thing here. This is the resume that is for the experienced people of 3 years. I'll tell this one. Email, give your working email. But I'll tell you one thing, don't give your personal emails. For your professional, create one new email. Why? Because if you give your personal email now, there will be a lot of junk mails. You can miss some emails. But whenever you are applying for the jobs, create one professional email and try to use this. Okay? Why? Because once we hired the freshers, I got a resume. In that resume, what is his email, you know? loverbysurya@gmail.com. That's his email actually. Lover by Kiran. Okay, fine. So don't give this kind of things. Create one professional email and a phone number. So give your working phone number. Okay. Objective. Just copy paste from internet. Everyone will do the same thing. Nobody is going to write their own career objective. Fine. Sir, coming to profile summary. Guys, there is a difference between profile summary and work experience, like roles and responsibility. Profile summary means upon all your working experience, in which area you have knowledge. That is what you can call as profile summary. Okay. So on these 3 years, what you have done is you have the good experience in working with DevOps and with various CI/CD concepts in different phases for the deployment and managing the environment's maintenance. Solid experience on Linux. I have taught you Ubuntu and Red Hat or not, sir? This is done. Hands-on experience on infrastructure creation. Have you discussed or not, sir, how to create infra? Can you do it on your own or not? That's it. Automated infrastructure deployment with the help of Jenkins pipeline. Seen or not? Working on CI/CD Jenkins for automating entire application deployment. Tomcat. Getting the source code, making it build, unit test, creating var file, deployment, everything we have done from there or not. Working on Jenkins job for end-to-end deployment. This is also we have seen. Good knowledge of creating user and restricting permission. Already we have seen this concept as well. In Jenkins, we have RBAC, role-based access control. There you create users and you restrict the user based upon your priority. Good experience in storing artifact of S3 bucket. AWS S3 CP, name of the var file and give the bucket name. We discussed on CLI comments or not, sir? That's it. Working on Docker, like managing, creating containers and establishing connection between them. Good knowledge on Docker, Swarm and Stack. Have we discussed Docker, Swarm and Stack, sir? Docker Compose we discussed, Swarm and discussed, Stack also we have discussed. Good experience in configuration management tool like Ansible. In Ansible, we have seen setup, ad hoc command, playbooks, handlers, conditions, roles, whatever you have. And here I forgot to mention deployment of Tomcat. You mentioned that one. Already we deployed the Tomcat or not, sir, with the help of Ansible. Create playbook directly, deploy the Tomcat server. Next, working on Apache 2. We have seen how to work on Apache 2. We have seen how to work with Tomcat, and we have worked with RDS as well. Next, good knowledge on installing and configuration of Kubernetes cluster. You know how to create the cluster itself. You know how to manage. You know how to do the admin activities. Replica control, replication set. Deployment. Namespaces. Services. Lot of things. You can include whatever you want. And coming to the AWS services, IAM, VPC, EC2, S3, EBS, Elastic Load Balancer. A lot of things we have taught, right? You can mention whatever the AWS services on the resume. Now coming to the profile summary of this 3 years of experience guy, whatever I mentioned here, have we covered each and every point or not, sir? In profile summary, whatever we wrote here, everything I have taught you on the class. Okay. If you practice that one, you can able to answer the questions on interview, definitely. Your questions on interview is going to based upon your resume only. I have taught you everything. If you prepare everything what I taught, you will get the answers in the interview. Sir, next year I'm gonna teach about your, I'm gonna tell you about professional experience. Professional experience means currently you are working on which company, which project, what is that project, and what are your clients. You need to mention everything here. Then coming to the tools here, for your project, use Git and GitHub. And integration, which tool we have used for a project? For configuration, we use. If your project is monolithic, remove Docker and Kubernetes, not required. But if your project is microservice, put Docker and Kubernetes. For infrastructure, which tool we use it, sir? Terraform. For application server, which one we use it? Which cloud we use it here? And Artifactory, S3 or JFrog. I taught you both. You can tell any one of them. Ticketing tool is SharePoint. SharePoint is nothing but it's a ticketing tool. That means in real time, whatever the work you are doing, you need to do it on ticket basis only. I will show you the dashboard of SharePoint actually. How the tickets are created, how it is going to assign it, how you are going to take it, and how you are going to close it. I will tell you at the end. So all these tools we have covered, but here remove Docker and Kubernetes. If you put monolithic project, remove Docker and Kubernetes. But if you put microservice, keep them. Coming to roles and responsibilities, sir, based upon this infrastructure, if you go and see now, first of all, this architecture is going to be given by architecture. With the help of Terraform, you create the infrastructure or not, sir? Whatever the infrastructure you create with Terraform, can we configure with Ansible? Whatever the servers you configure with Ansible, can you do deployment with the help of CI/CD? That is what I have mentioned here. Created infra by Terraform. Install softwares by using Ansible. Deploying end-to-end product in the Tomcat web server and other application servers before production. Taking the backup of code. Code backup means moving the WAR file to S3 bucket. That is what you can call as code backup. Or you can take the backup on Git as well. Can we clone the repository or not, sir? Cloning means backup or not. Checking and automating if server is running out of disk or not. In Prometheus, you can see it. We already see that Prometheus Grafana dashboards. Monitoring of all servers. Again, Prometheus and Grafana. Integrated many tools like with Jenkins like Git, Maven, S3, Terraform, Tomcat. All of them we integrate or not, sir? Even Docker also we have integrated. Okay. Next, work on Jenkins by installing Jenkins, configuring Jenkins, maintaining the continuous integration also. Configured many schedule projects. Schedule project means which topic we need to use here. Tell me this point. Schedule means which concept we need to use on Jenkins. Cron job we can use. Correct or not, sir? Polesium also we can able to use, but cron job is best example. In case of any new project, can we set up new jobs or not, sir, for new project in Jenkins? Definitely we can do. Configuring pre-build and post-build action. Already we seen. Post-build means always, success, failure. Already we seen on Jenkins. Deploying artifact like jar file, var file into your servers. Already you know how to deploy jar file, how to deploy var file as well. This we have seen on our Jenkins project again. Using Ansible Vault, can we secure information, sir? Have you seen it or not in our class, Ansible Vault? Then maintaining configuration changes of Ansible, writing the playbook and automating of daily tasks we have seen. Taking the backup of instance. How we can take instance backup? Snapshot. How we can take backup of instance? Snapshot. Already we have seen. Pulling the artifactory from S3. If you want to get the artifactory from S3, again AWS S3 CP command. Directly copy that artifactory and move it to the Tomcat. Maintaining Confluence page. This is the very important actually. Confluence page means for your company, whatever the works you are doing, we need to prepare one documentation. We need to prepare what? So, for example, in my company, if I want to do the deployment, right? The deployment is going, give me 1 second. I'll call you. So now see here, maintaining Confluence page means, for example, in your company, you are doing the deployment or you are installing the software. So definitely you need to prepare the documentation. Why? Because if you leave the company, we need to have some reference or not, sir. So all your documents you are going to maintain on Confluence. Confluence is simply nothing but a tool which is going to store all our documents of our company. Software installation, software deployment, infrastructure creation, everything you can do it on the Confluence only. Next, creating servers, AMI, and taking the snapshots, VP submit. Already we have seen, right? So this is the AWS concept what we have covered on our class. So roles and responsibilities means these tasks we have done on your project. Profile summary means completely on your working experience, you know about these kind of activities. There is a difference between both of them. So now tell me in this resume, whatever I shown you, right? In this resume, all of the topics we covered or not, sir? We have seen every topic theoretically and practically both. Okay, if you practice this stuff, whatever I have given to you, definitely you can crack interview. But don't expect to crack the interview very first time. First interview and second interview is for God. They don't get sent. Why? Because nobody is going to succeed very first attempt. Even for my first interview, I got failed. So of course, if you get cracked, it is going to be the good thing actually. I hope all of you are going to crack. But some people will think like this. If you fail on the very first interview, right, you will think we are not going to get job anymore. What you will do is you will kick your self-confidence to very low level actually. Some, like I'm speaking about some people. Guys, failures are acceptable. That's completely okay. Okay. So I'm telling that at least attend for 3 interviews. If not first, definitely you can crack second. If not second, definitely you can crack third. That's for damn sure. But for some people, it will take 4 interviews, 5 interviews, 6 and 7 also. Just keep trying. But once you fail on interview, right? Just never give up. Just go for the JD. Take the JD from the HRs and depends upon the JD, prepare your resume and go to interview. So that's it about the resume building for experienced people. But for example, if some people want to go for career transition, first of all, put your current working experience, then convert them into DevOps. For example, if you're a developer, if you're a tester, what you can do is, you can include your experience here. Previously, I worked as developer on Java, so I used to have this kind of activities, but I learned on DevOps. In DevOps, I have done some project. Tell them in your internal company only worked for few months. Nothing is going to happen. They are not going to check it completely. They will not go to your company and they will not go to your TL. They will not going to ask whether this guy is working here or not. For the career transition people, just tell them you worked on DevOps in your company internally and you know the concepts. Definitely they are going to test you and you are going to give clarity for each and everything what they have asked. So that's it, sir. And here for fresher already I give one template. So same will be there. Nothing is going to different. But for fresher, I need to tell you some things actually. Like let me give some clarity. I'll explain you as well. Fresher resume. Why? Because freshers will do some silly things in their resume. Let me explain this one. No, it's not. So again, for fresher, this is common. So name, email, everything is common. Career ability also common. Technical skills. Guys, one of the blender mistake what you will do, you will put your BTech graduation here. Whenever I open the resume, right, lot of times I will see the BTech graduation, inter and 10th. Tell me one thing, is company going to care about your technical skills or they going to care about your BTech graduation? Technical, right? That means what you want to put on top? Technical. But what do people prefer to put there? Academics is not going to be counted. 10th, 9.8. Inter, 950. BTech, 85%, but no job. Okay? Don't put your academics on top of your resume. Put your technical skills. Why? Because company want you technically strong, not your academic graduations. So these are the technical skills, all the tools we have learned here. And one more thing, for monitoring here, you need to include Prometheus and Grafana. Basically, I haven't given there. So you include Prometheus and Grafana there. AWS services, whatever services you'll put here. Guys, project also same project. Whatever I said them, you also need to explain the same project. So version control, Git and GitHub, Maven, Jenkins, Ansible, whatever the stuff I explained for the experienced people know, same project, same explanation, and same architecture you need to tell to your interview. Why? Because if a fresher do this kind of project, they will not lose you. You don't know, like they will expect very, very minimal knowledge from the fresher, but whatever the knowledge you have is very good knowledge. And even experienced people will not have this kind of knowledge. If you go for interview, the person who is going to take your interview, right, they might not have this kind of knowledge sometimes. That's it. But here, if you go and see strength, what are the strength you are seeing there? So now if you go and see there, strength, team player, adaptable and flexible communication. Basically, you'll put some strength, right? They are going to ask you to explain how you are a team player. Tell me an example for team player. I can bat, I can bowl, I can field, I can do wicket keeping. Like that, huh? Because team player means he must able to do all the works. For example, if company asks me to work on Docker, I need to work on Docker. If company asks me to work on database, I need to learn database and I need to work. If company asks me to do some other people work, I need to do that. That is what you can call as quality of a team player. Team player means he can able to fit on any role of the team. Second one, adaptable and flexible. Why adaptable and flexible means till now your graduation time, your class will be morning 9 to evening 5. But companies are not like that, sir. Sometimes you need to wake up at early morning 6 o'clock. Your shift will start at 6 o'clock and end at 2 o'clock. Sometimes your shift will start at 9 o'clock, end at 6 o'clock. Sometimes your shift is going to start at afternoon 1 o'clock and going to end at 11 o'clock. That means you need to flexible with the timings or not, sir. That's the reason I mentioned here adaptable and flexible. Next, communication skill. Definitely as a DevOps point of view, you need to communicate with all the teams. Without communication, you cannot be able to do anything. So I mentioned here communication skills also your strength. Coming to languages, I know Telugu, Hindi, English, so I put here Telugu, Hindi, English. But if you know any other language, try to mention. Why? Because if you are having multiple languages on your resume, it is going to be some advantage for you. Certifications. Again, this is going to be the very blender. You've done the course here. You will go to Naresh IT main block. You will ask for certificate. They'll go and give certificate for you. You are going to mention like this. Done course for Naresh IT from Raham sir. Correct or not? I have taken the course from Naresh IT from Raham sir. I done the DevOps course. Guys, it is very, very blunder actually, First of all, you need to know the difference between certificate and certification. Certificate means if you do a course, institute or trainer is going to provide certificate. Certification means if you prepare for a technology or if you prepare for a tool, you will write the official examination by paying the money. That is what you can call certification. Certificate means institute people will give. Certification means official people will give. Okay. So don't put your certificates here. If you have certification, then only put here. Hobbies. So just put here new technologies. Of course, even if you don't know some new technology, learn something about blockchain. Just know about blockchain. What is blockchain? Know about something AML. Know about something called as a recent technology, AR, VR. Just try to know about these technologies. Why? Because if you are interested in new technologies, companies will give you high priority actually. Next, so here, whatever the hobbies, like if you are a good cricket player, like you can play some cricket, but don't put cooking, traveling, gardening, don't put this as hobbies. Why? Because I'll ask you one thing. Lot of people here put cooking as hobby, right? You don't. I mean, a lot of people I'm asking. 95% will put cooking as hobby. Like I'm not talking about boys. Like generally, I'm specifying about girls. Guys, if I want to survive, means we need to have some energy. From where we are getting energy? From food only, right? It is a daily routine. You need to know the difference between daily routine and hobbies. Daily we need to cook food or not, sir? That is not going to be a hobby. That is a daily routine. Traveling also is not a good hobby to put here. Exploring the new things, you can put like that. Like I'm not telling like if you put like this, it is not going to blunder mistake. I'm not going to tell like that. You can create some productive hobbies here. That is going to make some good impact on your resume. That's what I'm telling. Finally, coming to the education. So just mention your college, branch, year, and percentage. But guys, here I'm telling one thing. The person who want to go with experience, the person who want to go with fresher, if you are having some year gap, don't put your year of passed out. You are 2021 passed out or 20 passed out or like 19 passed out. Still you want to try as a fresher. Don't mention year of passed out. Just mention your college, branch, where it is and percentage. Don't mention year. This trick is going to work for a few times. Why? Because a couple of years ago, I have a student, just last year only. He is 2018 passed out. Which year? He keeps trying for the job. Then I said them, don't mention year of passed out. Then he get the call finally. After within 1 week only, he got the call and he selected. After selecting and after verifying the documents, company people came to know that he is 2018 passed out. At that time, he is almost having 4 years of gap or not, sir? But he's technically good. First of all, he got the chance, right? Then company people think like that. Okay, like he might have some year gap, but technically he's good, right? So they have hired him. So it is the trick that is going to work for few occasions. But I hope like if anyone is going with some year gap, but still if you want to try a fresher, apply this trick for you. And finally, personal information. So freshers, don't do these 3 mistakes. Don't put your education on top. Don't put the strengths, whatever you Google it, just we need to give some definition for it. You put it as strength. Like for example, if I put it as team player, I mentioned as team player, sir. What is a team player quality? How you can define? If they ask you this question, but if you don't know answer, this is going to be like a very worst or not, sir. So like these kind of things you need to avoid on your resume. So finally, that's end of the DevOps course for us. So whatever the stuff we have started from the basic to now, so this stuff is enough for 3 years of knowledge, sir. So I will strongly recommend you to practice the stuff what we have discussed on the class. Why? Because with this knowledge you can get the job easily. But when you practice only. And one more thing is your course is done, but that doesn't mean you are not going to come to lab. You can come to lab whenever you want. And one more thing is, for example, in your initial days, you might miss some sessions. If you want to take the backup, just come and sit on the class. For example, in Docker, you are not on the class. Whenever I say Docker for my very next batch, come to the class and sit. But before coming, right, just intimate me a day before. I'll say to admin. Why? Because if you want to join, right, I need to say to admin. If I give permission only, then only they are going to allow. So like that, whenever if you have some topics to revise or to recall, just come and sit on my class. This is the word I said on the very first session. Still, I'm saying the same word. Whenever you want any kind of help or any kind of suggestion, just come and meet me on the lab. I will be available for you. But if you cannot come to lab directly, you can ping me on my LinkedIn. if you need to have some suggestions or if you have some queries regarding your career and anything, I will be available there. So that's it. And one more, the last thing is I would like to ask, VPC notes I have given, right? VPC is there. It is here, right? I think Nayaka, you need to check it one more time. Fine. So the last thing I'll ask you about one thing. Okay. So you have taken this course. So finally, how you are feeling after the ending of this course? Like, have you learned the content very good? Satisfied with the course, first of all? That will make me happy. Now I need to take any kind of lunch. I can go and I can sleep directly. The only thing is, like, after the end of every batch, the students are satisfied. That is going to give me like a good feel actually. Okay. I deliver the best content to my students. They are satisfied with it. Okay. So finally, at last, you want to tell anything? You can tell why, because this is the last session we are going to sit together from tomorrow onwards. I'll be coming to here, but you are not going to come to here. So anything if you want to ask or if you want to tell, it's up to open. For online batch also lab, yeah, definitely ask it. You can. Bashir sir, when will I come to take this course certification? No need to come, directly ping them on the WhatsApp. Just ping to your admin. Okay, they are going to provide you. They will mail you. For fresher, I'll suggest you one thing. Just to go to Naresh IT website and register there. They are going to call you. Whenever they are going to have some openings, they will intimate you. But I will suggest you to be in touch with your mentors. Why? Because your mentors will get the openings very speedily when compared with you. So whenever there is some openings, they will intimate you. But guys, within the first 3 openings only, you are going to get the job. I'm talking about freshers. Interview number 1, interview number 2, interview number 3. Within the first 3 attempts only, will get the job. But when you prepare the course on content, whatever I said, everything from the scratch, starting from 3-tier architecture, from day 1 to now, whatever I said, just have it on your mind clearly. Of course, for experienced people also, same thing. But depends. For some interviews, they requirement might be difficult and your knowledge might be difficult. Okay. That's it. Can't. So then still anything, any doubts or any queries? Nothing, eh? Online, what about you? So this is the last session for you. Even offline can come to here, but like I would like to get response from your end. Like any queries or anything you want to ask. Sorry. So interview questions already I have given on my GitHub. In GitHub, go to Ramshek account. There you can find some interview questions. But I will ask you not to prepare interview questions. Prepare the concepts. Okay. Yes, Bashir, go to Narrative website and you can register there. Sir, I also want to be tutor like you. What is the process? Okay, so Manas, I'll tell you one thing. So becoming the trainer is not that much of easiest job actually, you can think. It took me some years and some sleepless nights and even lot of hours of investing the time into the knowledge. You know, still now also I won't sleep weekends. If I want to really learn anything, right, I'll sit on the Saturday night. From Saturday night to Sunday morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I'll keep practicing the stuff. Of course, in a software, whenever you are in software, right, you need to learn the new things only. Why? Because every tool is going to be upgrading for every 6 months. When there is some new updates, you need to know about it or not, sir. So if you really want to become a tutor, it will take at least 4 to 5 years in a least case. You need to have real-time exposure. You need to implement the things and you need to troubleshoot each and everything. But apart from all of this, right, industry work, you need to maintain from the scratch. If you go for startups, you will build everything from your own hearts. Even like if you ask me, I worked on startups only completely. And like apart from startup, like I worked on only one MNC, remaining all of startups. And like even I started my career while on my graduation only. Why? Because US project, right? Some abroad students are going to give some assignments. So I used to work on those assignments. So from there it got started everything. So Manas, I'll tell you one thing. Just from now, put 3 years as your target. So in these 3 years, like try to learn the content as much as you can. But one more thing is, like I will tell you one thing. If you want to become a trainer, if you learn this subject, if you go to anywhere to do the training, right? If you are not able to answer any question, they will easily cut you. Starting from the day one to now, you might ask some 100 questions. Have I given answer for 100 questions or not, sir? Till the date, I never left the class without having the doubts on your mind. So the main thing is, if you want to become a trainer, you need to have all solutions in your mind. Students can ask any kind of doubts. For each and doubt, you need to have multiple answers on your brain. If you have that, then you can become the trainer. That's for damn sure. And training, like giving the training is different part actually. Why? Because if you're technically good, but you don't have teaching skills, it is waste. There are a lot of people who is good at technical skills, but they will not know how to teach the stuff. There is a methods to teach the content actually. Directly, if I come and if I start teaching the technical stuff, you cannot able to remember, sir. If you ask me about pipeline is very difficult concept, but how I have made it? Past concept, right? So ask about Kubernetes cluster, how difficult it is? How I have made it for you? Very easy or not? So like this, there you need to learn some teaching techniques. So the way of teaching is going to be very, very important. Forget about technical. Everyone knows about technical stuff, but the way of teaching is going to be the vary from trainer to trainer. And even people is going to select, depends upon the way of teaching only. You might go on to a lot of demos, right? But why you stick here means the way of teaching and the way of making you understand the concept. So that is going to be the main thing, Manas. And nobody is going to tell you this kind of things lively. If I'm a trainer, if someone asks me how to become a trainer, I'll guide you. But nobody is going to give guide like this. Okay, then finally, so it's been a roller coaster journey with all of you. So I would like to thank each and everyone who has been like part of this DevOps training. So all the best for all of your future, and I will pray for all of you so to get the job immediately as soon as possible. But whenever, if you want me to contact, so directly you can come to Naresh Shetty, you can speak with me. If not now, after few years also, I'll stay here only. Just come if you want to have any career guidance or anything. If you want to ask, just come. I'll be there for you. Okay. Okay then. So it's time to say goodbye to all of you. Have a great day and great weekend. Thank you online and thank you offline, both of you. Thank you.